So despite what some people say, no, Instagram is not dead for photography. However, having said that, it has definitely changed. So today we're going to be going over some of the ways it has changed and some of the ways you can still grow your Instagram as a photographer in 2024. So welcome back to another video. Today we're discussing how Instagram has evolved for photographers. The biggest change to Instagram's platform has been the introduction of Reels. Instagram used to be a photo sharing app, which is why photography flourished, and that was awesome. Now, to fight off competitors like YouTube Shorts and TikTok, they had to switch to video creating content as well, hence why they introduced Reels. They are pushing Reels heavily because that's what people want. People want short-term videos, and Instagram is just kind of playing the game. As a photographer, you just have to adapt to this new change in the landscape. So what I mean by that is you don't have to give up on photography and stop taking photos altogether. I think that's a completely wrong approach, but I think you can use Reels to your advantage to show off your photography. When this change happened, a lot of people thought, oh, well, now I have to be a videographer and photography is completely dead. That's not the case. Side note, don't get me wrong here, by being a content creator, you're not an influencer. I hate that word. I hate the whole idea of an influencer. You can be a content creator, but you're still a photographer. And what I mean by that is you can use Instagram Reels to show the stories behind your photos. While you're still taking photos, you can use Instagram Reels to teach people how to take photos. So you can do educational content through photography. You can show the behind the scenes of your photos. You can explain the stories behind your photos. You can post a video simply showing a photo and explaining why it means so much to you. This behind the scene content is really powerful for a photographer to be able to showcase and add a little bit more personality and kind of identification to their photos. So it's not just a photo, you really get the whole package. You get to see the photographer, you get to see the behind the scenes. You can still be a photographer, you just have to utilize Reels to your advantage to show off your talent as a photographer. And I think that's the biggest change here, because when photos started kind of dying, quote unquote, on Instagram, a lot of photographers that I saw just stopped taking photos and kind of went more into vlog or video content. And that's such a shame, because there was so many talented photographers out there who kind of just gave up on posting photos on Instagram. And I post photos all the time, my photos do really well, but I think if you use Reels to supplement the photos or give the backstory behind the photos, you can still really grow as a photographer on Instagram. So another massive change I see in the Instagram landscape these days is that Instagram is favoring engagement heavy content. So what I mean by this is if you're just posting a photo with a very small caption, that's it. Unfortunately, it's not likely to gain a lot of traction unless you already have a big following. If you want to grow, you really have to engage comments and shares to your photos or to your Reels. And there's tons of ways to do this as a photographer. Adding your face to your Reels, meaning showing yourself in the videos, adds a really personal touch and allows people to kind of put a face to the brand. The thing about being a photographer is most of the time you're behind the camera. So I think a really good idea, or a really good way to kind of change that up is showing your face and talking on camera. I know it's not easy. I'm literally talking to a camera alone in my apartment right now, but you kind of get used to it. And I think it shows kind of that personal aspect to your photography brand, which really encourages people to engage more and comment and share and send you messages. Writing engaging captions is also a big part of it. So you can post a photo, but in the caption, kind of explain the journey of that day, how you ended up taking that photo, why you like that photo out of the 10 you took that day, why it's your favorite photo. If you write an engaging caption, people are gonna read the caption, likely comment, maybe ask you a question in your comments, which you can then reply to, share it to friends. It prompts conversation, it prompts engagement. That's gonna be a main factor in growing on Instagram. The more engagement you get, the more your posts are gonna get shared and sent to the For You page. You have to get your followers to engage with your content. Another massive change to Instagram is just the pure content saturation that's out there these days. When Instagram first came out, a lot of people had phones, but the photo quality was horrible. The photographers that grew on Instagram were the professional photographers with high quality cameras mostly. These days, everybody has a phone, which take awesome photos. The accessibility to the internet and to Instagram is just so much more. So there's just thousands and thousands of photos being uploaded at a time. It's just ridiculous. And while I think that's awesome that we get to see all these different types of photos and all this content created around the world, it could be a little bit overwhelming. It can kind of suffocate you as your own little photographer if you're not kind of getting the traction in this massive river. You're just a little raindrop. You know, I think not comparing yourself to all of these photos out there, finding your own little niche, creating your own little community of the few people that comment on your posts, commenting on others' posts will kind of generate your own little community of friends and kind of colleagues within the photography on Instagram. That's gonna make a big difference. Don't necessarily aim, I have to go viral. I think personally that's the wrong approach. I think if you start small and every like you get is a win, reach out to other photographers via messages or commenting on their posts. I think building your community, starting small and slowly building up is a way better approach. It's a lot more natural and organic than just trying to go viral with one photo. I think that's the wrong approach, and I think that's what too many people are doing these days. Be yourself, be creative, and have fun in your own little space, and I think you will gain traction over time. It's just, there's no quick fix. Which kind of leads me to my last point. I think a lot of people want to just wake up tomorrow, start an Instagram and get 1 million followers overnight. It's not going to happen. It's very unlikely. Sometimes people go viral and explode, but a lot of those people who follow them just end up unfollowing them anyway. So you might have 1 million followers, but no one's even engaging, no one cares because you just had one reel that went viral or something. The best advice I can honestly give you is just take your photos, make your content, do your best to utilize all the tools that you have at hand, like carousel posts, reels, photos, stories, commenting on others' posts, DMs. Use all these tools to your advantage, and over time you will naturally grow your following and your fan base. So no, Instagram is not dead for photography. It has changed. You just have to evolve and adapt your content strategy to the algorithm and to what people want to see. You know, obviously you have to kind of grow with the app rather than just trying to fight it, because unfortunately that's not going to work. You know, use reels, use posts, use these tools that Instagram is giving us to your advantage to create the best content possible. And if you make these little changes, I guarantee you're going to notice more engagement, more traction, and I actually think you're going to have a lot more fun creating content because it's a lot more natural than just trying to chase the 1 million followers at the end of the day. So hopefully you learned something from this video, and go out there, take amazing photos, reach out to me. I love engaging with the community. Drop a comment, send me a message on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram as well if you'd like, or check my photography out there. I love engaging with the people who send me messages and comment on my posts, things like that. So hopefully I get to see you there. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.